Welcome to the second Heurist tutorial video. I'm Michael Falk, Community Technical Advisor at Heurist, and I'm delighted to be able to show you some of Heurist's basic features. In this second video, I will show you how to modify the structure of your database. Heurist is extremely flexible. You can change how your database is structured at any time, without compromising any of your existing data. You can create new data types or modify existing data types quickly and easily, and see the results instantly in your browser. This video is accompanied by a full walkthrough on our website, so don't worry if I seem to be going quickly. You can use the walkthrough to follow along step by step. For our example in this tutorial, we're going to modify the structure of the World Leaders database we created in the first tutorial. After modifying the structure, we will be able to record the ideological affiliations of each of the world leaders in the database. To do this, first we will create a vocabulary of different political ideologies. Secondly, we'll modify the person record type so that it has a new ideology field where this information can be stored. And lastly, we'll enter some information about Robert Menzies' ideological commitments. Heurist is an iterative database, which means it's extremely easy to alter its structure at any time. This is important for humanities research, where concepts are often spongy and prone to change. For instance, imagine you had the following definition of democracy in your database, and then came across the example of Viktor Orban, who defends what he calls illiberal democracy. Perhaps you'd like to add a new term for democracy to cover his example, and you may wish to edit the original term, perhaps by changing it to democracy in brackets liberal, or writing a new and more specific definition. In either case, what you need is a structure that can be changed on the fly as you need it according to the emerging pattern of your research. That is exactly what Heurist allows. Step 1 of our example is to create a new vocabulary of political ideologies. In your database, at the moment, you'll see we don't have very much information included about Robert Menzies, just his first name and his family name. And if you double-click, you'll see that although Heurist provides many fields, at the moment it doesn't provide any obvious place to record his political affiliations. We can create a vocabulary for his political affiliations by going out of this menu and going to the Design pane. In the Design pane, you'll see many aspects of the database you can alter. In this case, we need to create a new vocabulary, so let's click on Vocabularies. You can sort your vocabularies into groups for ease of access, but for now, let's click Add next to the word Vocabularies, and then create a new vocabulary called Political Ideologies. You'll see that vocabulary now appears in the list, and to the right, we can click Add next to the word Terms to start adding some terms to the vocabulary. For this example, I'm going to add the terms monarchism, liberalism, and communism to my list of political ideologies, and write my own short definitions. If you're following along yourself, feel free to put whichever political ideologies that you prefer. Each time you click Save, the Add Term menu will open again immediately, allowing you to add many terms conveniently at once. When you've saved your final term, just click Close. As you can see, we now have a useful list of 3 political ideologies, which can be added to or edited at any time from the Vocabularies menu. Now that we've created our list of political ideologies, we need to alter the data entry form for people in our database so that we can input this information about each world leader whom we include. To do this, we need to modify the structure of the person record type. To modify the structure of a record type is very easy. Go back to the Explore menu to have a look at all the records in your database. If you double-click on Robert Menzies, you'll be taken back to the data entry form. At the top left of the screen is a button that says Modify Structure. This appears in every record in the database. If you click it, you're able to alter the data entry form. This will automatically change the data entry form for all similar records in the database. The cogs on the left allow you to edit fields that already appear in the form or to insert new fields. Let's call our new field Ideological Affiliations and give it some help text. Then we need to select some important settings. For the data type, we'll choose Drop Down. This will allow us to pick from a list of predefined terms. Then for repeatability, we'll click Repeatable. This will allow us to associate more than one ideology with each person. And finally, under Vocabulary, we'll pick Political Ideologies vocab, the vocabulary that we defined earlier. Click Create New Field. You'll see now that ideological affiliation appears as a field in the data entry form. Now that we've added this new field to the data entry form, it's time to enter some new data about Robert Menzies. Back in the form, click Close at the top left to stop modifying the record structure. Now you'll see your new data entry form, and you can simply pick some of the political ideologies, clicking the plus icon to add more than one if you wish. Then click Save and Close. When you return to the Explore pane, click Recent/All to refresh the records, and you'll see this new information appearing for Robert Menzies. That brings us to the end of this tutorial. Now you know how to create a new vocabulary for your project and how to modify a record type. In the next video, I'll show you how to add deeper structure to your database by defining relationships between records.